I'm sure everyone knows Barcelona as one of the biggest clubs in the world, but in this reality their debt became too much, resulting in a points deduction and relegation to the second division. And as they are in debt, we will have to list every valuable player in the squad up for sale. But before we see which players got sold, I want to tell you the 3-season plan for this video. For Season 1, we want promotion. Season 2, we want to qualify for the UCL, and Season 3, we will win it. It might sound crazy, but anything is possible. The first player to leave was Kubarsi for 61 million. Christensen went to Leverkusen. Balde joined Inter from Timu. Even Szczesny is leaving us. Ferran Torres went to Milan from Timu, and Man City spent 162 million on Koundé. What the hell is Pep smoking? And I forgot to mention we are banned from signing players, but that does not mean we cannot sign a good old free agent. So this is now what our team looks like. I think it is more than good enough to get promotion. And yes, we still have a lot of key players, but Barca will not be able to register them to play. So we cannot use any of these players on the reserves, and they will be sold next season to raise funds. So I'm going to sim to the end of the season to see how the team does, and as expected, we won the league with ease as we got 100 points. However, we did not win the Copa del Rey, meaning no Europa League qualification. Also, Lewandowski and Gavi will be leaving us due to their contracts expiring. Anyway, we are now in Season 2, and Barca are back where they belong, but they are still in massive debt, so we will be selling all of these players. To start off, Olmo went to PSG. I don't know how we got 87 million for him. Fermin went to Man City. Araujo went to Inter from Timu. De Jong joined Dortmund. Garcia took a trip to Scotland. Casado took a trip to Turkey. And damn, Yamal is joining Chelsea for a record-breaking fee of 333 million euros. Yamal, Palmer, and Estevao on the same team is the greed they spoke about in the Bible. Anyway, this transfer is probably the first one Barca fans will be happy to see. Garcia is joining Chelsea's B team. Rafinha is joining Liverpool for 195 million. These fees are so unrealistic. And the final player to leave was Pedri. Why does it make so much sense that Pedri was the last to leave? So after this, our total budget is 2 billion, but as we are in debt, we will only be able to spend 100 million of it. And to make it even worse, our highest-rated player wants to leave. And it's safe to say this team will not get us our target of UCL qualification, so let's put that 100 million to use. Our first signing is the experienced Jan Sommer, and we are continuing this theme with the signing of Trippier. Eric Dyer has experience at big teams, so he will understand what it takes to play for a club like Barca. In midfield, we are signing Fred for 20 million, as you cannot have a Barca team without a Brazilian. And guys, I tried my hardest to bring Messi back home when it needed him the most, but Inter Miami were not listening to any offers, so instead we signed Perez. I just know that this guy is going to cook, and as Tony Fruck wanted out, we swapped him for Paul Pogba. Let's hope he has a redemption arc, and with the remaining budget we brought back Martinez. Why did this guy even leave Barca in real life? So this is what the team now looks like. I think it is good enough to finish in the top 4, but as the bench was weak, we signed 3 free agents for squad depth. However, it doesn't change the fact that if we get any injuries, we are screwed. Anyway, halfway through the season, we are 6th, but we are only 2 points off 4th place Real Madrid. So let's have our fingers crossed that we qualify for the UCL at the end of the season. And guys, we managed to do it with 68 points, if only we got 1 point fewer. And Perez finished as the joint top scorer. I did tell you guys that he would cook. So Season 2 is now done, and going into Season 3, this is our squad. This is definitely not good enough to achieve our target of winning the Champions League, and our budget is now 500 million, but 300 million of that is being used to pay off the remaining debt, so we have 200 million to spend. So our first signing is Laporte. He knows what it takes to win major trophies. We also signed Lucas Hernandez, who has won a lot of major honors, and 50 million for a 35-year-old Mo Salah might sound crazy, but I am taking inspiration from the 2010 UCL winning Inter team, who were old, but won with experience. And our final signing is Leao for 70 million. This one feels like a bargain. And yes, I tried once again for Messi, but this time he is retiring. It would have been amazing to win the UCL with him in his last ever match. Also, we signed a lot of free agents for squad depth. So this is what our squad now looks like, and considering we only spent 300 million over 2 seasons, I think it is decent. Also, I have to say shout out to Marc Bernal, who has been in the team from the very beginning. Anyway, let's sim to January to see where we finish in the league phase. And we finished 16th. However, this is not a bad thing, as PSG finished 15th in real life and went on to win it. Anyway, in the playoffs, we beat Milan from Timu. In the round of 16, we beat Inter from Timu. The quarters saw us level with Bayern after the first leg, and we advanced after a comfortable away win, so we are facing 2nd place in the semis, and Ansu Fati, who has been with us from the start, scored a brace to send us to the finals. And well, would you look at who we are facing. And before I play the match, it is time for the hype montage. Real Madrid versus Barcelona in the Champions League final. Football simply doesn't get bigger than this. So Jan Sommer, the last UCL final you played was a nightmare, but this time it will be like a dream. Inigo Martinez, you earned your money in Saudi Arabia, but now it is time to lock in. Laporte, I know it is El Clasico, but you can put your hands down. Lucas Hernandez, prove to us that you are the better Hernandez brother. And I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but I don't know who this right back is. Marc Bernal, you are the only player that has survived in the starting 11 since season 1. If anyone deserves this trophy, it is you. Kovacic, I know you have won the UCL 4 times already, but please open your eyes. Mohamed Salah, you might be 35 years old, but you have shown many times that age doesn't affect your ability. And you know things are serious when Leao isn't smiling. Paul Pogba, they all said your career was finished, that you wasted your potential. But today you can prove to the world that every player deserves a second chance in football. And Jose Perez, the original plan was to sign Messi, but you are actually the best signing I made in this video. So let's win this game and take the trophy back to Camp Nou after the last 3 seasons of hell.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in...
Okay, that was not the ideal start. And it's safe to say that the second half can't go any worse than how the first half did. Honestly, how was I supposed to stop that? Jose Perez, I will personally commission for you to have a statue outside the Camp Nou. And after 120 minutes, neither side could be separated, so we have to settle for a penalty shootout. And you guys already know who is taking the 5th penalty. Okay, surely I cannot bottle it after that save. If I somehow lose this, I deserve jail time. Let's be real. Everyone knew Pogba was going to miss. So if we score here, we win the UCL. And who better to take the winning penalty than my boy Jose Perez? You have got to be kidding me. After all the glazing I did for him all video, this is how he repays me. Someone check their back garden to see if the ball landed there. Okay, we have a second chance to win it, and this time it's Marc Bernal taking it. He's the one player who's been here from the start, so maybe it's meant to be. So after being relegated to the 2nd division and forced to sell every player, Barca have shown us that you can achieve your dreams no matter the circumstances.